What's the best way to truly feel a place? It's not through the landmarks or the tourist spots sanitized and curated for mass consumption. It's by diving into the heart of local culture. Forget the guidebooks, lose yourself in the back streets, the markets, the places where people gather and life unfolds in its raw and messy glory. Today we're taking you on a journey through 11 places around the world where culture isn't just something you see, it's something you live. Alright, let's get one thing straight. Kyoto ain't your typical neon-drenched Tokyo fever dream. This is old Japan. The kind of place where geishas still glide through bamboo forests and tea ceremonies are practically a religion. You can practically smell the incense in the air, feel the weight of history with every step. But don't think for a second that Kyoto is stuck in the past. It's a city that worships beauty, from the delicate arrangement of a plate of sashimi to the precise folds of a kimono. Yeah, there are tourists. But find your own way down a quiet alley, grab some street food from a guy who's been doing it for generations, and tell me you don't feel something real. Fez. Just saying the name conjures up images of 1001 Nights. This is a city that assaults your senses in the best possible way. The smells alone, spices, leather, something indefinable but intoxicating, will have you hooked. Step into the labyrinthine alleyways of the Medina, and you're walking through centuries of history. Leatherworkers pound hides, metalworkers hammer intricate designs, and the air buzzes with a chaotic energy that's both exhilarating and a little overwhelming. And the food, oh the food. Tagine simmering for hours, bread fresh from the oven, and mint tea so sweet it'll make your teeth ache. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've bargained for a rug in Fez. Varanasi, this city on the banks of the Ganges, is not for the faint of heart. It's raw, it's chaotic, it's a full-on assault on your senses, but it's also one of the most spiritual, most life-affirming places on earth. Imagine dawn breaking over the Ganges, the Ghats teeming with pilgrims performing ancient rituals. The smell of incense, the chanting of prayers, the sheer intensity of faith is enough to make you question everything you thought you knew. This is a city where life and death exist side by side, where cremation ceremonies take place just meters from where children play cricket. It's not always pretty, but it's undeniably powerful. Chapter 4, Oaxaca, a fiesta for the senses. Forget Cancun and its spring break hordes. Oaxaca is where it's at. This is Mexico at its most vibrant, most colorful, most alive. Think cobblestone streets, colonial architecture painted in every shade imaginable, and the smell of mole sauce clinging to the air. Oaxaca is a feast for the senses. From the vibrant markets overflowing with chilies and spices to the sound of mariachi bands serenading you at every turn. And then there's the Day of the Dead, when the city explodes in a riot of color and celebration, a joyous remembrance of those who have passed. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've danced in the streets with a sugar skull in your hand. Chapter 5, Havana. Frozen in time, alive with rhythm, Havana. Stepping into this city is like stepping back in time. Vintage American cars cruise down crumbling boulevards, the air thick with the smell of cigars and the sound of salsa music spilling out from every doorway. This is a city that knows how to party, a place where life is lived on the streets over endless games of dominoes and strong sweet coffee. But beneath the faded grandeur, you can feel the pulse of something real. This is a city that has known hardship but has emerged with its spirit intact. It's in the way people greet each other, in the music that seems to flow through their veins. Chapter 6, New Orleans, where the good times roll. New Orleans, a city that needs no introduction. This is a place where life is a celebration, a gumbo of cultures and traditions, all simmering together in a delicious, intoxicating stew. From the French Quarter with its wrought iron balconies to the jazz clubs of Frenchmen Street, New Orleans pulsates with a rhythm all its own. And then there's Mardi Gras. Forget everything you think you know about parties. This is a city-wide explosion of music, costumes, and pure, unadulterated joy. Just be sure to pace yourself, you'll need the energy. Chapter 7, Bali, Finding Serenity in Paradise. Bali, the island of the gods, yeah, it's a cliché, but clichés become clichés for a reason. This is a place where spirituality seeps from every pore, where rice paddies shimmer in the sun and the air is thick with the scent of incense and frangipani. From the vibrant temple ceremonies to the intricate dances that tell ancient stories, Bali is a feast for the senses. But it's also a place to find peace, to lose yourself in the rhythm of village life, to meditate in a clifftop temple, to simply be. Marrakesh. Hold on to your hats, kids, because this city is a wild ride. Step into the Jama El Fna, the city's main square, and you're plunged into a sensory overload. Snake charmers, storytellers, acrobats, and musicians compete for your attention. while the air crackles with the energy of 1,000 conversations. Get lost in the souks, a labyrinth of narrow alleyways overflowing with spices, textiles, and treasures you never knew you needed. Just be prepared to haggle like your life depends on it, and don't forget to eat. Tagines, couscous, pastries dripping with honey, your taste buds will thank you. Chapter 9. Cape Town. Beauty and complexity. Cape Town. This city at the foot of Table Mountain is a feast for the eyes. From the colorful houses of the Bokap to the stunning beaches and rugged coastline, Cape Town is undeniably beautiful. But this is also a city with a complex history, marked by the legacy of apartheid. Take the time to learn about the city's past, to visit Robben Island, to talk to the people who lived through those dark times. It's a reminder that beauty can exist alongside pain, and that understanding the past is essential to shaping a better future. Chapter 10. Jaipur, a jewel in the desert. Jaipur, the pink city. And let me tell you, it lives up to the hype. This is a city of grandeur and opulence, where palaces shimmer in the desert sun, and elephants roam the streets adorned in brightly colored finery. Step back in time at the Amber Fort, get lost in the labyrinthine city palace, and haggle for jewels and textiles in the bustling bazaars. And don't forget to indulge in the local cuisine-rich, flavorful curries, lentil dishes, and sweets that will satisfy your sweet tooth. Chapter 11. Rio de Janeiro. The city that never sleeps. Rio de Janeiro. The Cidade Maravilhosa. And marvelous it is. This is a city that pulsates with life. From the beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema to the hillside favelas that cling to the slopes of Sugarloaf Mountain, Rio is a city of contrasts, of breathtaking natural beauty and grinding poverty, of joyous celebration and simmering tension. But one thing is for sure, Rio knows how to party, and Carnival, forget about it. It's a 5-day explosion of music, dance, and pure unadulterated joy. Just be sure to bring your dancing shoes. Outro. Go get lost. So there you have it. 11 destinations, each with its own unique flavor, its own story to tell. But these are just a starting point. The world is vast, full of hidden gems waiting to be discovered. So get out there, get lost, and experience the world for yourself. You might be surprised at what you find.